Welcome, everybody, to the Daily HiFi podcast. How is everybody doing today? My name is Chana. With me, as always, we've got Michael. Oh, no, Michael. Damn it, Michael and Joe.
Good luck with that, man. I never can do that, man. I point the wrong way every
Wrong.
time. It's like mirrored.
How are you guys doing?
I'm good,
What's
man.
up?
What is
What's
happening,
up?
China? What's going on, Joe? We're missing Aaron tonight.
I know. I think he said he's busy doing something. I talked to him the
planting
other day.
He's planting a garden, I believe.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, some
Yeah,
tomatoes.
it's always more fun
cucumbers.
when he's here. So
Yeah.
what can you do? What can you do?
I don't know what
I
he's
think
up to.
he's busy. He's a busy man.
He's
Yeah.
making bank, man. He's
I
doing
know.
business.
I know.
He's doing business. Yeah, he's measuring some stuff.
That's
He's
right.
got a lot of measuring going on over
That's
there.
awesome, man. You
Yeah.
got that fancy.
So I'm all
couple,
wireless
man?
today. I'm all wireless. I'm testing out this new stuff. So today I just happened to have this shirt like black and yellow, and then I was like, I have a black and yellow hat sent to me from Deity, and they just sent me this new
Sponsor.
Deity Pocket Wireless. It actually somebody asked like sponsor, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just look like a tool. Like I look like straight up like look at me.
Let me look like a tool.
Let me just go all out and do it. And the funny thing is, like, I'm not a sponsor. I could go pick up another microphone right now. Where's that Rode?
Grab that Shure, man. Grab the Rode. Grab the
I know. I'll grab all of them. Be like, what's up?
grab the Sennheiser.
Sponsor what? Oh, there
right.
you go.
Road.
And by the way, for anybody who
Sure.
thinks that I'm sponsored, yeah, I know, right? We have my other one, Sennheiser. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of hilarious, and I went all out. You guys don't even know. I went all. You want to see my socks?
Oh, my God. No.
What you got? What
Oh!
you got?
Tool.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I can
Straight
smell it
steel.
from here. Oh,
Look,
So who
you
is that?
got my kids on here.
your kids
That's
are on your side.
hilarious,
Oh, that's
dude.
cute.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
100%. I
At
went
least
all
you
out.
match, man. You got yellow boxers. I mean, we don't need to see, but if you went all
Whoa.
out, that's where like,
Uh,
see, man, see, you're not
Yeah.
legit.
You are not legit. My
Need some yellow boxers.
But anyway, so real quick, this is definitely not sponsored, but I thought that this was cool because this wireless mic. So Michael, you have the Rode Wireless Go 2, is that what it is from Rode?
Yeah, go to. Yeah.
So you can, so this can only do one. So that's
okay.
not
So
so
it's
good.
like the Rode
But-
Wireless Go. Okay.
Yeah, but you can connect it to your computer via USB-C.
Okay.
So you can do it for this sort of stuff or for Zoom, and you
Nice.
can walk around and not be attached to your computer.
So you attach
anyway.
a transmitter to your computer USB-C
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. or
Exactly.
receiver, I guess it'd be. You got the.
so
transmitter.
you've got the earbuds so you can hear us, and then you've got the wireless mic on there. So you're not
Yeah,
using the mic from the earbuds.
I was gonna use these Sony like headphones, but I'm like, why would I do this and still be attached
So
with
why?
headphones?
Yeah.
That makes no sense.
Cool, man.
Michael, real quick, when you use your Rode Wireless Go 2, do you use the lav mic or do you just?
Yes. So I have
do?
the Rode. Yeah, it's like it's kind of expensive. I think it's about like a $200 lav mic. But then I also bought a second one for the other receiver, and now it's like the $100 lav mic. So I guess there's
Wow.
a couple of different ones that they sell.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so I prefer having it because the closer you can get it to your mouth, to me, the cleaner it sounds. The other one, it just picks up too much of the room, versus kind of being directed more towards your mouth. So.
I just thought it looked a little funny to have this square here.
So normally
But
what I
anyway.
do with that, honestly, is I turn it inside out so that the square part is inside your shirt. Because either way, does that make sense?
Yeah. So you just
'Cause
see the
then you-
clip only.
Yeah. So then you don't see the light. You don't see the big square. You do see like a little black clip, but that's it.
Yeah.
And of course, they got Rode on there, man. They want everybody to know.
Yeah, I just figure I'll look like a tool for a second. And by the way, that's an invitation for you to give me an audiophile joke. Look like a tool? Anybody? Tool?
Are you the right tool for the job? Is that what you're trying to say?
tool? No tool. Okay.
Floyd tool?
We'll see if anybody.
Which
yeah,
tool?
there you go.
Exactly.
There you go. I'm like, oh,
More
Floyd
like a. That was a bad joke.
tool. No, dad joke.
Ah, there we.
That's even better.
Boom.
Even better. Say hi to some folks in the chat. We got Junior, Tim, we got Henry, Adair, Mac, lots of folks over there. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Audio system specialist. We got Jed's in the house. Eric, Right Way. Appreciate you being here, man.
Audio system
Martin.
specialist.
What'd I say?
ASS.
Oh,
ASS.
funny.
No, the name.
That's good. It's a nice little. He says subscribe, baby.
Subscribe. Yeah, get in there.
Very
Get in
cool,
that
man.
ass.
Oh wow! Come on.
Oh,
That's
God.
hilarious. Oh, here you go, Joe. You got some flexibility, man. You do some boxing
Oh,
routine.
yeah.
Routine's on.
He's
Yeah,
already
there you
because
go.
Cables don't get in
I
the
wonder
way,
how
man.
far I can go. This room is a little echoey, but yeah, it's cool.
Which room are you in? Is this part of the west wing of the Mariano compound?
This is Angela's office.
Oh.
Yeah. Nice.
Ah, nice. Nice. Whew.
Yeah. So, what's new? What's new with you guys? Anything in particular that you want to talk about? I know what I want to talk about. But...
I know something come out today.
Something's gonna come out today. What? Who's coming
I know
out?
something just came out.
That was
Out of
the other
where?
day.
A
Well, the
closet?
other day.
What's happening?
No, it was the other day. Was the coming out, National Coming Out Day.
Oh,
Not today. That's not today. But did you guys watch the Apple announcement? Chana, did you?
I didn't
No.
get a chance
Did
to
you-
see it.
You didn't watch it? Oh,
No,
that's a
man.
good thing.
Chana just buys it. He
Then,
doesn't have to watch it.
Hold on a
He's already
second. If you
sold.
weren't watching it, then why was it right after the thing? You're already in the thing configuring. What was that all about?
because Aaron put the link in there. He's like,
Oh.
"You're." So I just
That's what
clicked
I'm
on the
saying.
link.
See,
I'm like,
Chana-
"Oh,
Chana does not need-
and I just went and typed it in, see how much it's gonna cost. That's all.
Chana does not need an advertisement, man. He does not need to be sold. He's already sold. He just says buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, like, dude, I already know what I would want.
Yeah.
You know, all Apple has to do is make it and be like, "Oh, there
See?
it is.
I told you.
There it is." They just got,
I'm
you
like,
just got to make it.
cha-ching, Swipe.
Yeah, it's not
Apple
it's
Pay.
not, it's not one of those things where I actually have to think long and hard about it. I just be like, okay, 4 terabyte SSD or 8 terabyte SSD. That's the thing. Is it worth the extra 1,200? I don't know. That's
Wow, $1,200.
Yeah.
But
So
see,
you want to hear
thing
something?
is- the thing is, like, that internal SSD is so fast.
Sure.
Even with a Thunderbolt 3 or a USB 4 external, it's still slower.
Yeah.
It's still slower. So when you have, like, you know, when I'm doing like the simple color grade that I just do, which I usually turn down the midtones, highlights, and then you know, get my face looking like it normally should, or get my shirt looking like it normally should, then you know, on a 30-minute video file, you know, it takes
That's
a while.
big deal. That's a
Yeah.
big deal.
So time is the huge thing. Like, if I can cut down that time that it has to process, then great. But
Yeah.
my last so my current laptop has a 2 terabyte internal, and so I kind of like divvied it up in my head. 1 terabyte is for music and all the program files, and 1 terabyte is for the video stuff, for the video editing. My last project was like 850 gigabytes. So I was just like, oh crap, and I had to delete a whole bunch of other random stuff just to get the project done. I was like, oh, looks like I need more. So 4 terabyte probably was where I would normally go. But then since the 8 is there, and this is kind of like the thing with like cars too, you know, get it fully loaded, because when you're ready to sell, what do you do on the eBay listing? Fully loaded, maxed out,
Yeah.
boom, and then you're already charging a premium for it.
Paid too much. That's what I put on my ad.
Well, you know, the thing is that, so I picked up something, right? I picked up a setup. I'll tell you about that in a bit. But I was thinking, you know what? I have my old MacBook Pro. I didn't sell that. Like, it just stays in the family. Like, somebody gets it, or we use it for the kids, or it just stays there. I never sell it. You know, at some point, it's just gonna be used for, like, I don't know,
Somebody
like a
get it.
laptop something. So that wasn't really a consideration. But there were a few things that they talked about that I thought were pretty funny for anybody who watched. So I didn't get this. They were talking about Apple Music, right? And they were saying they have this new service, Apple Voice. So it's $4.99,
Okay.
and it's like, yeah, you can talk to it and tell it what you want to play, and you can play a playlist, you can play any song. And I was like,
Can't you do that already?
what?
I mean, I can do that
thought
with
that was a point.
Spotify. I do that with Spotify.
I didn't understand. I'm like, I thought that was the point of Siri. Like,
Yeah.
why would you pay for
Well,
that?
I mean,
or are they
I have
saying
no
like
idea.
maybe that service, like, you can talk to it and ask it what you want, and it'll automatically play everything. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really have
Yeah.
the entire service.
Right.
It's kind of like their version of a free Spotify.
Yeah.
Like you can ask it to play one thing and it'll play a radio station, kind of like a Pandora type of deal. I don't know, but I just thought that was weird that the way they described that. $4.99 for
So
Apple
Joe,
Voice.
tell Scruffy what they're able to do now. We were just talking about this behind.
Oh yeah, Scruff. I mean, we were just joking. I said, yeah, they can fix that in the firmware update.
You were supposed
You
to
just
tell
make
him.
it disappear. No, I wasn't.
You're just supposed to tell him because if he hadn't
Oh
seen it,
yeah.
he believed it.
Oh, like be serious about it. Like just straight up be
all right,
serious.
you ruined it. My bad.
I'm sorry. I'm bad at those things.
Yeah, one
that's
day
why
though, maybe one day they'll
it's
get the
rough.
notch fixed.
It's rough with Aaron because he's always telling jokes, and sometimes they just go like.
True.
So seeing some of the comments in here about is your current Mac an Intel based? The Mac Pros would help you edit your video much faster. Honestly, no. My 13-inch M1 laptop smokes all the Intel ones. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculously fast at only Final Cut Pro X. I don't think it's optimized for Premiere, Adobe stuff yet. But
maybe
I'm sure
not optimized, but still fast.
it's still fast.
My M1 is pretty much about as fast as my PC, my custom PC here. But I don't do heavy color grading or anything like that.
No, it's actually I was I was so surprised. I actually got it because I'm looking at my 2012 MacBook Pro over here that's dead. So I still have it's still here in the room, right, even though it doesn't work. Which was my DJing and music laptop. Somebody said I need a NOS for my music, but no. This laptop is one I take DJing, so it needs to have all the music on there, unfortunately. But I got it for that, and then Joe's like, dude, it's a new M1. Just try and edit a video. And I did, and I was just like, holy shit, this thing's way faster than my $4,000. And it's just a basic $2,000 one, and it's faster than my like $4,000 Intel 15-inch from like 2018. I was just like, oh crap! Now I'm like, I barely used that other one, So I don't know.
Yeah, I dropped some money today. That's for sure. I dropped some money. So I got the 14-inch version. I was looking at the 16, but I'm like, you know what? I'm probably, for the most part, going to connect this up to my desktop monitor. I got that 34-inch ultra wide. Like it's probably going to be there most of the time. And then if I want to use it on the go, then I would prefer a laptop that's a little bit, just more portable. So I went with a 14-inch. I maxed out the processor just and because, RAM, like you guys are saying, and the RAM. So here's the thing: I maxed out the processor because I figured for video editing, anytime you can save is always good. Sometimes you don't want to wait there and like I want to go to sleep, but waiting for this to finish. So anytime you can save time there is a good thing. But then I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with 16 gigs on the M1 Mac that I have. So I have a M1 Mac Mini. It's fast, right? No problems. And, on those, they had the option 8 gigabyte or 16. I went with a 16, never had any issues. Yeah. Can edit all day, way faster than any other computer I've ever had. And this one I was like, all right, well, 32 is even better, right? But then I started thinking, I don't know what this new processor, this M1 Max, is going to require. Does it need to? So funny thing is, I was trying to decide between those. I ended up getting the 4 terabyte, and I actually called Michael because I'm like, I need somebody to help me not spend money.
That's right.
Because
so
if I call Chana, he's just gonna be like, dude, just buy it. Just max it out. Exactly what he said, dude. When you go to sell it, what are you gonna say? Fully split. He's gonna say exactly what he just said. Exactly. Yeah. See, look at him. Look at his eyes. He looks all happy.
He's like,
I don't want to disappoint him, so you want to check all the boxes. Otherwise, you're gonna be disappointed in you.
True. You're like, come on, you got another 1,200 laying around for that 8 terabyte SSD. Let's go, bro. Come on.
So I definitely did not call Chana for that specific reason.
Smart.
But man, there's some cool stuff on that I would like to talk about. Display stuff that I thought you might be interested in. So I know this is audio, but don't worry, we're going to get to audio stuff, but we do audio and video, right? So what do you think of their XDR screen, like mini LED? Is that like as close as you're going to get to OLED for something where you don't have to worry about burning? Yeah. So 120 hertz?
Is 120 hertz? Ooh.
120 hertz, and it adjusts automatically. 1,000 nits with 1,600 nit peak.
Wow, 1,600 nit peak. I would imagine that's in like a 10% window or something like that.
That's your
Okay.
territory, man. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know the details, but I wrote the little notes down, and
Now I'm
then
gonna
they
have
did
to watch
tell
the
like that
stupid
contrast.
thing now. I'm gonna have to watch this stupid thing now. Damn it, Joe.
He's gonna have to watch it just to figure out what he just bought. I mean, come on, Joe. What the heck?
But you know what I thought was interesting? The price there. I spec'd out two of them, a 14-inch and a 16-inch, and the price difference was only $200. So I was just like, oh, that's actually not bad. If anybody's actually looking at these things, like usually the 13-inch and the 15-inch would be at least $500 to $600 in difference in price. So that being
Same specs on everything else, though.
Yeah.
And so they're exactly the same. Like everything is the same. Even like sometimes they get less speakers or there's something else different.
Right.
Everything's exactly the same.
The 16-inch comes with a bigger battery pack. Right. That's
it takes more power to,
to run the screen. Right. But I think that's the only difference in the two things. So pretty cool.
Well, I guess that the only use case for the 16, not the only, but if it's going to be your main computer, you're not going to hook it up to an external display, then of course you might want that extra screen real estate.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny? So I've always gotten 15-inch MacBooks, right? I got my 2012 for DJing, and then I got the for video editing 2018. Right before I went to Cedia 2018, I got it for that, and then I got this 13-inch, and I started editing on that, and I think the 15-inch is just too big now. I'm like, this 13-inch is awesome. I could sit here in bed, edit my videos. It doesn't take up.
I like the
kinds of space.
portability. There's no doubt. It's nice. It's comfortable. It's a little harder for me just because my vision isn't, super amazing. But I ended up editing 24 videos on it, from the trip that I made.
Huh?
Yeah. And it worked out great, and that was even before I hooked it up to my monitor.
Here's the trick, Mike, because weren't you like away out of town?
I was, yeah.
Yeah, just bring an HDMI cable and hook it up to the TV in the hotel room. We used to do that all the time. So
I wasn't in a hotel room most of the time. Literally, we were gone from 6 a.m. We'd get up between 5:30.
Well, where'd you just sleep and shower and stuff on the plane?
At a guy's house.
Oh.
Yeah. I stayed at Tony's house. He's got he's got that killer home theater, D box, all that stuff. But we basically
slept on the D box.
No, we would leave his house.
We'd
leave his house
dirty.
like at 6 in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, and we wouldn't get back in until like after midnight usually.
I see.
So we were pretty much gone all day long. So basically got home just enough time to copy the videos to the computer, recharge batteries, get to bed. 5 hours later, we're up again doing the same thing.
Wow.
Hey, speaking of which, you said, Chana, what do you call it? HDMI?
Mm-hmm.
So this new one has a HDMI port like the old school ones.
Yeah, built in. I saw
HDMI has a headphone jack. It has the MagSafe, and it does a fast charging, and then you can also SD card, right?
Yeah.
So that's handy if you use SD card, and they brought some ports back, so that's cool. You can still charge it with a USB-C or whatever, Thunderbolt, whatever they want to call it, but you can still charge it that way. And then so. Back to what we're supposed to be talking about. We're supposed to be talking audio stuff. So I did take some notes about the sound system. And I was telling Michael that Apple's pretty good at getting decent sound from, a laptop or an iMac. Well, hold on a second. iMac, yes. Mac Mini speakers are straight trash. Straight garbage. But I don't think they expect anybody to use those. So this one, I was laughing at some of the stuff that they said here. So for the sound on the new MacBook Pro, 14 and 16-inch, has 6 speakers, 6 speakers, 2 tweeters, and 4 force-canceling woofers.
What
Isn't that hilarious?
does that mean?
Yeah.
4 woofers in a laptop?
Well, force canceling, right? So force canceling is like what Kef was doing and what SVS is doing with the small woofers, so where they kind of go the same direction so it doesn't vibrate your laptop.
I was gonna say, yeah, right.
And they claim something like 80% more bass and a half octave lower. I don't know what half an octave lower. What does that other one go to? I don't know, but
now let's look at the measurement though. I mean, how much more percentage bass?
80%.
All right, so when you got very little bass to begin with, 80% of a little bit still ain't much. But so I'd be
Well,
curious.
we'll see. We'll have to wait and see that, and then spatial audio, which I don't know how they're gonna pull off. And they're always touting like their microphones, like they're supposed to be really good microphones, like studio quality. I doubt that. Like I'm just gonna suddenly just stop using mics. I'm gonna just talk directly into the laptop. Is that how this gonna work?
Or you know what? If you do one of those weird impromptu live streams like you did last time, hey,
Yeah.
you do it from your backyard.
There you go.
Yeah.
I guess maybe we'll see.
80
We'll have to wait and see.
80% of zero is still zero. That was kind of the thought there. But
Yeah,
I think the cool thing is that, I mean, with technology, I mean, we get all these advancements, and over time, things get better and better, whether it's with a home theater receiver, whether it's speakers, whether it's amplifiers. And so I think it's just like a great time to be, just in this space, whether you're a home theater enthusiast, 2-channel audio guy, streaming. I mean, think about how far streaming media content, whether it's audio or video or both, has come over even just the past 5 years. So it's an exciting time, man. I look forward to what we've got on the horizon. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah. Did you guys see the AirPods, the 3rd gen AirPods? I guess you guys didn't watch any of it, huh?
I didn't watch the
yeah.
damn thing. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so Chana, you have AirPods Pro, right?
And the other AirPods, yeah.
Yeah, I got
Brother.
both of them.
You have the Pro also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are
So
they?
it's like
They're
an
upstairs.
in-between one.
Jessica uses these. I use these. So
Okay, so there's one in between those now.
okay.
Ah, what is it called?
AirPods 3rd gen.
Oh, okay.
That's it. And they were talking about adaptive EQ. I guess somehow it adapts to your hearing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. But $179, similar case to this, and then it has main difference. I don't think it has noise canceling, but it has the head tracking.
Okay.
Have you tried that?
Oh no.
Like where you turn your head and it sounds like it's still coming from the
So
front?
is that specifically for like binaural, or is that for everything?
It's for, they call it spatial audio, right? It kind of sounds binaural-ish, but not exactly.
So I guess like if you're watching your laptop and you've got those in and you turn your head, it's gonna sound like it's coming from the right ear instead of the,
Instead of straight
Yeah,
on.
so
Yeah.
anyway, kind of interesting.
I'm not sure what the benefit of that is. Like, what is the benefit of that?
I don't know. They're trying to do some weird stuff that I've seen. I've seen like,
Sounds cool.
if you're on a FaceTime call, you'd be like, this guy's over here, this guy's over here on a FaceTime call. You know how they show like the different, like it's gonna sound like it's over there. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Maybe it's cool. Who knows? But anyway, that's the news as far as Apple stuff. I guess we have to talk about that stuff because it's
technology, man.
technology that we use.
Stuff that we use every day. So
And these guys are actually pushing the boundaries a lot of times. Like you wouldn't expect Apple to be pushing the boundaries of what's happening in our space audio. But a lot of times, like, if Apple and Amazon and these big companies are doing, lossless high res streaming, then that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
They're just too huge, right? They can't be moving that direction without affecting everything else.
They're making ways whether you like it or not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason why I wanted to talk about it a little bit. But yeah, it's I wasn't expecting to pay like what 5 G's or whatever today. Yeah. I was like, you know what? If I can keep it under 2, that'll be good. But these guys, masterclass at selling. Yeah.
That was a joke.
I thought it was just gonna be.
Get out of here.
I thought it was gonna be a little faster than the M1. Like a little faster, just newer.
Come
I'll pay,
on, man.
the other one was like $1,300 actually MacBook Air was like $999 or something like really low, right? And I'm like, if they make it a little better, it's like $1,500, $1,600, like under 2 G's will be cool.
Well, if you think
there you go.
the MacBook Pro 13 M1 was 2,000, why would you think the 14 and 16 were going to be 2,000?
Yeah,
come on,
mine,
like
the one that I bought,
they were already here at the 2,000, so
Yeah.
there was only nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, I should have known. I should have
maxed out was about 25. So yeah, go thinking you're gonna get it at 2. That ain't gonna happen.
You know why they do some tricky stuff where they say, you can get into this at this low price, but it's like you're gonna buy that and you're gonna keep it at 512 gigs or 500, whatever. You know, I'm like,
Kind of like
right.
going to a car salesman. They go, yeah, man, this is we can get you in for $100 a month, but you got to buy your own tires. There's
and
no
roll
there's no
windows.
There's no AC.
You gotta.
You know, it's like
Yeah, when I was
Okay.
shopping for my car, my vehicle, it's like 50,000. I was just like, oh, really? That sounds great. And then I'm
sweet.
like, wait a second. Boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden it's 80. I'm like, oh, crap. But
All right, so I feel better about going
what
from the
happened?
2 to 5 because you went from 50
Yeah.
to 80.
Yeah.
I'm good. I'm safe.
our scale and Chana's scale is really quite different.
He's next level.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
just I needed to get two options with that car. The only problem with it is I couldn't get both of those options on the same vehicle unless I went with the prestige package. And that's how those assholes get you. Right? You have to get this because I wanted the air suspension because there's a button in the trunk that lets me drop the trunk all the way to down so I can load up all my equipment for DJing.
Gotcha.
And then the other thing I wanted was the Bang & Olufsen 19 speaker system because, well, why not? Right.
So just curious, like, how far are we talking that it lowers it?
So that the tire and the wheel well, like the tire tucks under the wheel well.
Okay, I mean, you're talking 4 inches.
Yeah, the whole car will raise up and down about 5.5 inches.
Okay.
So yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, when it's 100-pound subwoofer that's in a big ass box and I gotta
gotcha.
put
I
it in
gotcha.
by myself, like
Every
bit
inch
helps.
matters.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what she said.
I figured. I knew you were going to be there. I'm just trying to feed
I
you
was
some
waiting.
content.
I was waiting.
Yeah.
Trying to feed you some content,
But
man.
as far as like the Apple stuff, I mean, it's something that we're gonna use every day.
Yeah.
If I get a new laptop, I mean, I already have 2 laptops, so I could do what Joe was saying and just give my 2018 to my wife, and then that'll just get crapped on. Because
Okay, so
hers has got all kinds of food stuffs on there, like food, actual food particles and everything.
here's a bet to the daily hi-fi regulars. How many of you guys think that Chana's? He doesn't need it. He just bought the M1 13-inch MacBook Pro M1.
Same
What,
time I
6
did.
months ago? Some around there? 6 months?
Yeah, we
something like that,
both bought them out at the same time.
What are the chances he's gonna pick up one of these new ones? Look at him. Look at his smile.
I'm gonna put my vote right here. Here you go. This is youth man. Right here. Boom. There's my vote.
Yeah. What is everybody? 100%.
100%.
What?
You
Wait
guys
till
are
he
good.
watches the video. Wait till he watches the video. I'm
I don't
telling you,
think-
masterclass.
All right, so we need to take a vote. How many think he will purchase it before the video ends?
Oh, there you go. That's the real question.
Oh, you guys are hilarious.
Dude, everybody's hitting it. Treat yourself. Yeah, dude.
I'm not actually in any kind of
You don't have to be in
That's never stopped you
the
before.
market. Yeah, that's not
never
the,
stopped you before.
Angela's at 98%,
Yeah.
the lowest.
she's an optimist.
He already
Let's
ordered
just say
it.
that. She's an
after
optimist.
show. I buy it in the after show.
That's
Oh,
good.
you
You
guys
guys
are
know us.
funny.
You guys know us, man.
Oh
You guys
man,
are-
we have a good time here.
Actually,
I hope. Yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see.
I was gonna say, like, you said what's been going on, and I finally almost done with my weddings. I got one more in November, but I did 5
You've been
weddings.
busy this month, dude.
5 weddings in October,
Yeah.
and
Wasn't
by
that
the
in
middle
first
of
2
October.
weeks?
Yeah,
I was about to say that was the first
2 weeks.
That's awesome.
So I am kind of like burnt out, and so I'm not. We got next weekend off, and here's why I won't be buying a laptop. It is because I'll probably be dropping $5,000 in Vegas.
There you go.
When we go this weekend. So
So just you and the wife.
Experiences.
yeah, me and the wife. My brother had 2 tickets to EDC VIP tickets, which are $2,000 for
There you
the
go.
pair. So
Awesome.
so yeah, he just gave me those. So now
Nice.
we I booked the hotel, and like all the transportation is gone. Like there's no parking available, there's no shuttles, everything is sold out. So we have to hire a private car. so transportation to and from for the 3 days for just the 2 of us is $1,200.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
there goes that 8 terabyte hard drive.
No.
And plus you're gonna be flown in with helicopter, right? So that's
No.
That
I'll
would've
save
been
the
cool,
helicopter fly in for like a next year or the year after that. I only have the one wife. Because if I had more, man, that would be like a pain in the butt, dude.
It'd be hard.
I'd have somebody in my ear complaining, "Hey, how come you're not spending time with me?" Or, "Hey, we need to buy this for that. We need a new rug for this. We need a new TV here." Blah blah blah. Like fuck that. Like one's enough.
So obviously she doesn't watch this one, huh? She doesn't watch our podcast.
Mike, yeah, no, of course she doesn't. Why would she want to watch any of my YouTube videos? She'd be like bored out of her mind.
I know that's Jessica. She don't
Look at Chana gonna come back on the next show with purple hair.
I mean, you guys have seen my old videos, right? I had blue hair, green hair. Sometimes it was blonde. Whatever.
A little long deal coming up the front.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's hilarious.
It's all good.
An upgrade to helicopter. There we go. Yeah, exactly. But multiple weddings. Oh yeah, exactly, Matt. Like these weddings are no joke. But the cool part is, so I actually have the weekend off, and I've been kind of like, I'm actually going to take the week off of like making any YouTube videos as well, and I'm gonna like chill out on the comments too, because this is what I was going to talk about today. Like people are. Not every one of the viewers, but like there are some viewers that are very entitled to my free time. Like
they expect you to respond. I mean, let's face it.
No. They're like, "Where's this video? Why are you not doing this video? What's up with this video? Do you not want to tell us the truth about this product because you have a good relationship?" I'm like, "No, fucker, I have to fucking work.
I have a life." Yeah.
Like this is not like every day. I mean, it is for Joe. Joe's full time, but if I want to afford some of these things, I gotta do something that actually makes money.
Yeah,
like So
I'm too lazy even to link them sometimes. I'm just like, I made a video. Like I don't want to go and search for the video. Just go look for the video. It's on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah.
Croissant says, "You're doing it wrong, Shauna. Marry many rich women. Treat yourself." Mm-hmm. I think here's the thing: like perfect woman. She cooks, cleans, makes a lot of money, animal in the sack, and just, marry all of them and make sure none of them meet each other,
Oh, man.
That's what you got to do.
Animal in the sack. I love it.
Yeah. You exist solely for your subscribers, right?
True.
Right. Oh my God, it's hilarious. And some of the stuff people say, it's just like, it's just really like, I'm like, really? Do you really think I'm here for you? I mean, yes, I'm here for you guys.
Sure.
But like
for you guys.
Yes, there's a limit to like, and now that my channel's gotten larger and larger, there's more and more people watching, more and more people commenting, and it's getting to the point where this one guy got all pissed off. Okay, in my how to add an external amp video, he got so mad. Mm-hmm. Now, he wasn't necessarily mad at me, but he was taking it out on me. He was mad at the fact that he bought the wrong AV receiver and couldn't add an external amp, right? That's what he was pissed about. Sure. But he's like, how can you just not say this part at the beginning of your video? I just wasted all this time watching your video and realized I can't do it because I don't have pre-outs. You should have said we needed pre-outs in the beginning of the video. I was like, damn. I was like, hey, man, I said, sorry, it's that you could have Googled it yourself, and found a different resource, and you're complaining about free information. It's kind of weird. And then he gets all mad, and he's like, why do you even say that thing about free information? It should be free. I'm like, yeah, dumbass, you're not getting the fucking point. It's free information. If it's not delivered in the exact form that with a little fucking bow on it, like, go fuck yourself. Like, I don't care, man. Like, you watch the video, you don't like the video, I don't care. But don't tell me, don't complain about free information when that's all you really, really want. And then he's all mad at me. He kept on going. I was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. And I mean, think back to when each one of us had like 1,000 subscribers or 5,000. I mean, I like prided myself because I answered every single stinking comment. I mean, like every one of them. And then after a while, it's like, oh my goodness, like I could spend the rest of my days just answering comments and never do anything else, And so there is that balance of, how many comments and sometimes like I always get the email that says, hey, Youth Man, I love your channel. Got a question. And then it's like a novel or a 30-page essay kind of thing. And it's like, do you really, because that's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a huge time consumption. And it's like, do you really want to And it's like, man, do I respond or do I go, dude, that's what I created the Youth Man Crew Facebook group for, because there's 2,000 people over there that can help you, or a Discord server or a Facebook group or whatever. So it is hard to do that, but some people do feel entitled, like you owe them a video or a review or replying to their question. And the reality is we simply can't do that, and that's why each one of us have Patreon. That's an area that you can.
Oh, look at that! That's a nice plug. That was smooth.
You like that? That was smooth.
I like that. Was good.
But literally, that's a way that you can connect directly with us. I know you guys are probably the same way I do. I answer every single one of my patrons, but I can't physically reply to every comment on my YouTube channel. So patreon.com/youthman. All right.
that was nice.
Wow.
That was nice. That was good. And earlier we were just talking about how you're like, I'm not a salesman. I don't. And then here you go, all super slick.
That was super salesy.
That was literally like just being funny.
But that was perfect. That was great. There you go. He won't turn it down.
No. Yeah. Nah, man, I'm grateful.
But yeah, so the moral of the story is, man, I'm tired of. I'm actually kind of tired of people. And like even when I go to these weddings and do the DJ thing, like I'm just tired of people asking for stupid stuff. Like
what'll fix that?
Therapy, folks.
Yeah.
What'll fix that is a new MacBook Pro will just solve all your problems.
That is it.
I've used up my cuss word cards.
Your cuss word cards. That's hilarious.
Channeling my inner Joe Pesci. Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. 2 Utes. I'm sorry. What was that? The 2 Utes.
I make you laugh. Do I make you laugh? Do I look like a clown?
Anything you need, Leo gets. Get it. Oh man. So yeah, I'm gonna have a good old time this week. Not gonna do a whole lot, and I'll just chill out and
you deserve a little rest and relaxation once in a while.
And then I get back right in time or a day late for the AV Summit. And then right after that Saturday is Halloween weekend, which I know my wife wants to party. However, I have a wedding expo on Saturday, which means I'll book another 4 to 5 weddings Saturday, which then means I could probably easily just buy that laptop without blinking.
See?
But, we'll see.
I told you it's happening tonight, folks.
Yeah, see, he's justifying already. You know what? So this is what's going to happen. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen.
Oh, he's going to call it. He's going to call it.
I'll tell you, this is how it's going to go down too. Uh-oh. He's going to find one little feature that he really wants, right? Like that's just like perfect for DJing or something specific. Like, oh, dude, I had to get it. You know why? Has a headphone jack. He'll say something random like, dude. So I just, I spec'd it out, came out to 6,000. I figure tax write-off, So,
yeah.
There you go. See, he'll figure out a way.
Tax write-off. My vehicle was a tax write-off.
Already.
That vehicle is over 6,000 pounds. So I took the entire $80,000 tax write-off in the first year. Yeah. There it is.
And plus I just sold this. I just sold this thing. So. There it is. I figured, why not? So you're getting it. You're getting it. There's no doubt in my mind. It's you watch the video and you're done. Oh, Chana.
Well, what's funny? I needed a new iPad for weddings, and that was exactly why I didn't buy the iPad Pro. I bought the one down from that because it had a headphone jack, and that's exactly what I needed. And I gave my old iPad to the teenager. So, win. Win.
Exactly.
Situation.
Yeah, that's what Angela said.
The new one's got a headphone jack. So
I always steal her quotes. All her quotes, I just steal them.
You just don't ever give her credit, man.
I know. I need to. Right? Oh, that's my. Speaking of which, yes, shout out to Angela Jude, wifey. She's the one who comes up with all the good ideas. So anything that I say is somewhat smart, somewhat funny, somewhat anything.
Smart.
It's Angela. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what's new with you, Michael? I saw you got the family in. You doing some family time stuff.
Yeah, we did. So my nephew got married this weekend, and so we had a good time, kind of celebrating that, and had all my girls down for the the weekend. So 2 of them are off to college. So that was cool. And so it's always good when they come home, man, you know, because right now I'm at a stage of my life where it's getting really stinking quiet because we just have my youngest, Rebecca, and she's the quietest of all 4 of my kids. And so with Jacob married and Naomi and Rachel off to college, it's like, it's just me and Jessica going, what the heck? So we're already kind of experienced in a way that whole empty nest, you know, so it's just super, super quiet around our house most of the time. But it's nice to have all my girls.
That's why you got to have like music in every room.
Yeah.
You know,
there you go. Only problem is Jessica don't like music. I mean, she likes music. She just likes it quiet. Oh, she likes it soft. And I'm like, damn, that's so opposite of me.
All right, so totally off topic again, but you posted a picture. You got your beautiful family, right? And you're like me, like you're just like, you know, you got your wife and how many daughters? Like three daughters. Okay, so that's a lot of female, right? A
lot of estrogen in the house.
That's kind of like my situation, you know, my wife, and then
I get you, man.
It's just like
2 girls.
You need a son. You need a son.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Angela,
okay.
You'll need a son.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, and then you'll be regretting the day you walk home, you get home, they're 15 years old, and the whole house smells like weed, and you're like, what the hell?
Never experienced that.
Well, so I guess my question is like, do you ever have to be like that, dad? Like, yeah, I got a shotgun, you know, like you threatening dudes to come over, like, hey, you better treat my daughter right. I'm not, you know,
like they do
my kids are young.
Yo, who's this? Who that? Who here?
Yeah. You have to act all crazy. I bet. Do you act all crazy like when they bring somebody by, like you talk like new persona, like
bang bang, click, boom.
I'm pretty low key. I never bust out my gun, ever.
No. So you okay?
It's like, dude, I hang out with Optimus. I got like 5.
Yeah. No, I only have one Glock.
Glock what? I need to get one too.
It's a compact, like subcompact.
Yeah, I figure let's talk about guns while Optimus is not here. He'll be so mad.
He'll be like, dang it, I missed the whole show.
I missed the whole thing.
Because he's always like, hey, let's talk about guns.
It's a nice little comment. He says, Youth Man, you're like the ink to a beautiful person, 3D printer. Very nice.
All right.
Very poetic.
All right. So no having to threaten people, huh?
Nah.
So what do you do? Like, how do you? Everybody's just cool. You taught them to hang out with just the right people, or what?
Yeah. Do you allow the girls to date at a certain age, or how does that work?
I mean, like 15. So I mean, when they're kind of in middle high school, I mean, that's kind of been about the age that they all started, you know, dating or at least going out. So
I'm sure they have to do more than
we set curfews. We set expectations. As they get older, they get, you know, a later curfew. Even when my kids are 18, curfew's still midnight. I don't care how old you are. You're still coming home by midnight. I just don't care to have my kids out on the road when other people are out there drinking and driving and stuff. And it's not so much about them, even though I don't trust them. You know, my kids are good, but they're kids. You know, they're gonna make mistakes, but
yeah. So, you know what's interesting about this town where we live, since it's a resort town, there's actually a free bus system that goes till like 2 in the morning.
That's cool.
3 in the morning. Yeah. So like anytime, like he'll just be like, oh, I'm gonna go to the village. Okay, cool. And he'll just stand outside and catch the bus with and his friend will walk over, and so they'll both catch the bus up there and whatever. Or I'll be DJing up there and he'll ride with me, and then he'll just take the bus somewhere else.
Nice.
So which also is kind of bad because he doesn't have his driver's license. So because like there's no reason he can get around town. He'll either skateboard, ride a bicycle, take the bus, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I saw this question from Juan earlier, so let's answer it. You guys believe that the majority of consumers will wait until manufacturers lower their prices of home theater equipment, or are they buying regardless the huge markup in price we've seen in 2021?
I think they're gonna buy. Yeah.
I think they don't care.
Yeah, I think they're gonna buy. So
like, I guess so. This is assuming that the prices will lower.
See, that's the thing.
I don't think the prices are going to lower.
Of that. Yeah, there's no guarantee of that. I mean, this may be the new normal. We don't know. I mean, we thought the whole pandemic would be maybe get back to normal with these manufacturers in a year? No.
Have you
not even
guys
close.
seen any videos from like the Port of Los Angeles and stuff like that? Because I've
Mm-mm.
seen a bunch of
Uh-uh.
TikToks from people working there. Like they're like, okay, so we've got these 500 containers coming in, and these robots are now finally moving them, and we got enough workers. We'll probably get this banged down in like 6 months.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
yeah, yeah. I mean the what is it? So basically, what ended up happening was they didn't want to train more workers during the pandemic because of everything shortage of
Sure.
everything. So
Yeah.
now everything's backed up because they don't have enough skilled workers, laborers to unload everything because they have to run these big ass machines.
Yeah.
And then did you see that TikTok I sent you guys in the chat? Like in China, the like one crane like knocked over like
Yeah.
6 other containers and they come
That is
crashing
tired.
down to us like dominoes. But like,
Yeah.
imagine if you were there, just shake the
Yeah.
ground and stuff.
Millions of dollars worth of just gone. Yeah, that's
been
what
a
happened to your Sonos Fibers. They were in that container. Sorry, bro.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, my audio control is still not. They said 6 to 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks ago. So we'll see.
well, it's
Okay.
crazy because I know we're all impatient. We like to get stuff. We're used to the microwave society. We're used to having instant gratification. We're used to, overnight shipping and 2-day shipping with Amazon Prime. And then now you have this pandemic enter the scene and you're like, okay, we're delayed months and months and months. And people are getting mad at the brands and the manufacturers. They've got no control over that. I mean, I know you're mad at Marantz, but the reality is Marantz can't get the chips to make their products. So it's kind of messed up right now, but it's where we're at.
And
So, Bowers and Wilkins are behind schedule. Everything.
So Denon and Marantz prices went up. The Denon 6700H went from 2600 to 2999.
Yeah.
Excuse me, and I think the $1,600 one, the 4700H, is now $2,000. So I'm just curious what the other manufacturers are going to do.
Yeah.
What's Yamaha going to do? They already have their A8, H8, A8, whatever.
Whatever that thing is. Yeah.
That thing is $3,000. How much is that going to go up in price?
Yeah.
And then we're still waiting on, like, I heard October 15th for the new Onkios to be released, the 9-channel one at least.
Yeah.
And for $1,399, let's see how far that goes up in price, because it's going to go up, and I don't think any of these prices are actually going to be coming down one, not at all, unless the new ones come out. Somebody did say that Crutchfield has a listing for the Denon X1700H, right, which would be the new one because it would be the X1600. So yeah. I don't know.
Scuff Kingsman said fear of shortages will drive sales.
Oh, this is also true.
Well, how do you think it's going to affect
supply and demand?
How do you think it's going to affect used products? Like, so let's say the prices of all the new stuff is expensive.
So will the used price go up?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that what you think?
I'm not an economist. I don't know.
I'm not an economist. I don't know.
Well, you sell a lot of stuff, video cards, but that went up for a different reason, I guess.
I mean, it's just supply and demand. So I guess if the prices of all the new equipment is going up, I would imagine people selling on the used market would probably bump their listing up like 100 or 200.
They're like, you still want this? All right, I have one.
Because you can't get that.
You can't get it here. Yeah.
Well, but on used, it's probably going to be a model or two behind what they can currently get. But it's like, hey, I know you can't get access to the new one, but I've got last year's model, So, but then it's going to determine, okay, can they get what they want? Because they may not be able to get what they're wanting to upgrade to. So that may be something that hinders used sales. So I don't know. Good question.
Speaking of audio control, you guys know that I've been looking at different, systems that will give me Dirac Live, the bass control, Dirac Live bass control, and also Oro.
Oro 3D.
And so, of course, my go-to, I was looking at Oro. There you go. Drink.
You had to say it, man. You had to say it.
So I'm looking for that setup. And, initially I was looking at HTP1, of course. And somebody's like, why don't you take a look at that audio control that Chana's getting? What do you guys think? And do you have any experience with audio control at all, Michael?
I have not. I don't think
Nothing?
anybody during several of them had the HTP one. Honestly, I can't remember. There may have been like one person that had an audio control. Actually, I think there was one home theater when I did the.
I think Snoots has it in the if he's in the chat.
Snoots,
Snoots has one.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I was actually just joking with these guys. Like it's either I'm gonna get this laptop or HTP one. And so I figured, you know what? I need to make videos, and the faster I can edit the videos, the more videos I can make for you guys. Although I would like to make a nice new video about HTP one audio control or whatever I end up getting, but
But the reality is, I mean, we're talking about seconds. I mean, when you really stop and think about it, I know you guys are like, yeah, man, I can edit videos faster. My videos as is right now, whether I do it on my PC or on the MacBook, may take me 8 minutes to export. If I can't wait 8 minutes, I mean, what am I going to shave off? A minute? That doesn't.
Well, I was joking that it's my uploads is going to take longer than my export.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it's different when you're in Final Cut Pro because Final Cut Pro processes while you're working, right? And so if I do color grade on a 30-minute video clip, it's gonna like do the color grade and bake it in, sort of, to an extent. So
it's kind of rendering it ahead of time.
It's rendering as you kind of work. So in that essence, it's not just the export time; it's that time to do the full edit. So it's a little bit different as opposed to
for me, I don't do color grade. I don't my videos aren't super fancy. So, I don't have a process intensive type of video,
Oh, look at Reggie's. You're so bad, Reggie. You're like me trying to convince Chana to buy stuff. He's still pushing that cheap stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he's referring to the monolith that I was mentioning, the HTP one. He likes other stuff.
I heard probably 6 monolith systems blow you away. Absolutely incredible. And I don't think it's just a monolith. It's a how do you say it? It's a accumulation of all the parts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not just
a system, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have the whole package. It's, a subwoofer. You got to have quality amplifiers. It kind of all goes together. So I don't think if you swapped it out with a Denon or if you swapped it out with
I think he likes the Emotiva, I think is what he's rocking. Take that, Reggie.
Yeah.
He said it'll blow you away.
Emotiva is not the greatest when it comes to well, I guess here's the thing. When Emotiva works, it sounds good. Let's just put it that way.
There you go. So, what's up, HiFi Vega? I see
that's
bro.
That's like saying it works 60% of the time. It works 100% of the time.
I'll be straight up with you, man. I mean, you can go to any forum, and they're all struggling with it. So,
yeah.
Take care, Michael.
See, that guy's always like, "Hey, what's up?" And then one time I just said, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Oh, you don't have much to say?" I'm like, "I'm just saying."
Hey,
that's
returning the. Hey,
he hits me up all the time on Instagram.
And I don't know what else to say.
I think he's on the East Coast because it's like pretty early, and like sometimes he'll catch me while I'm on a graveyard shift. So, yeah, which I actually have tonight, which is gonna suck, but whatever.
Don't worry.
Resolve, yeah. I used DaVinci Resolve before I was, when I was cheap. I didn't want to spend the money on Premiere. And so I started off my channel with DaVinci Resolve, and I probably used that for the first 2.5 years.
I love this guy saying when I was cheap. You're still cheap. What are you talking about?
no, hey.
I'm saying I'm paying for it now, though.
Yes,
he bought the MacBook. After he bought the MacBook Air, you can no longer say that to him.
No,
he's just like he switched.
No.
He switched.
It's not that I'm
next
cheap,
thing you know,
I pick and choose when to spend money. You know what I'm saying? Like Challenge just like buy that stuff. And I just can't do that. I'm more like I think about it, I process it, I research it, and then I'm like, nah, I don't need it most of the time. And then eventually I will buy something nice, and I don't mind spending money, but I don't spend money unless I need to spend money. So that's kind of typically what happens. And so I literally bought the laptop because I was going to Cedia and because I was doing this trip to Wisconsin. I wanted the ability to move files over, to back it up, to even edit on the plane, things like that. And I knew I'd use it in future trips and stuff. So definitely it was good. So
Yeah, you just pick and choose. I think you
yeah,
have
I
nice
just,
things and you pick and choose.
yeah.
This one's for you, Joe. This question is for you.
Monolith versus Parasound app. Is it worth the extra money on Parasound or is it negligible? All right, so this is tricky. You know, you got a lot of the doubters out there. They're like, well, you know, your channel sponsor, one of your channel sponsors is Monoprice / Monolith, but then Parasound is a silver sponsor at the AV Summit. What am I gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I told you this question is for you.
Skip. You know, I'll tell you. I even told Joe Finn, I'm like, you know, honestly, like I can't tell a difference. I can't tell a difference in sound, but that doesn't mean that I don't look at the Parasound like, I like having it. You know what I mean? It's like a weird thing. I don't make any claims that it's the sound. Right. It's like, I look at that Parasound, I'm like, that thing will probably outlast me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know that it's just going to last forever. Yeah. It looks cool. It says Parasound, has a little gold thing. All these reasons that have nothing to do with sound.
Well, have you opened it up? Did you see my video where I opened it up and then compared the $600, $650, Outlaw insides versus there's clearly a ton of shit in there. So you are paying for stuff. Whether you understand it,
know what
whether
it does,
hear
but it does something. Yeah.
Oh, well, no, I saw a bunch of, capacitors and stuff like that are, storing energy for when the amplifier needs it for those big dynamic shifts. Are you going to tell the difference between the two just listening? I don't think
But they're different platforms too, right? So maybe the other one doesn't need all those capacitors because it's using a different topology.
Right.
And so I don't know. I don't know what all those things do specifically. I'm not an amp guy. But can I hear a difference? No. Does it mean that like there's no extra value that you get with a Parasound? You know, maybe their support is better. Maybe it'll last longer. I don't know. You know, I didn't have them long enough to be able to tell the difference. But I just like to be able to tell Reginald, like, I still got an A52 plus. You're clowning this and that, but I got the A52 plus. That's worth the 3Gs. The 3Gs worth it right there.
I think one thing that you have to realize with Parasound too, and I'm with you, Joe. I've owned a bunch of different amps over the years, and I doubt very seriously if we did some A/B comparison, I'd be able to go, oh yeah, that's definitely the Parasound, that's definitely the Monolith. I don't think I can do that.
I don't think so. I think that would be very, very, very difficult. Even the people that say they can tell the difference, I still think they're probably just guessing. I mean, it's a 50-50 chance. But even if you don't know, you could guess right.
Here's what I have to say about Parasound that is probably, a great benefit for the most part. That's all they do is make amplifiers, period. They don't dabble with AVRs. They don't dabble with processors. I mean, they kind of have a couple of preamps for like 2-channel stuff, but they don't spend their R&D. They don't spend their resources. They don't spend their anything in all these other little areas and subwoofers and speakers. They make amplifiers. And so when you specialize in something, you tend to get pretty dang good at it, especially when you've been around for, gosh, I don't know how long, 40, 50 years or something like that. So they've been around a long time. So, I have owned an old, I bought my first amplifier and I paid $750 for the dang thing. And it was 10 years old. That was like, that's crazy to me. I tried to get a Youth Man deal on that and that dude would not budge. But you know what? That amp was rock solid, dude. It's absolutely
still working.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't have it anymore, but it was a long time ago. That was like
you sold it for $800.
I did probably make money off of that, but that's a different story. Down the road. Honestly, I think I sold it because I just didn't hear a difference, with it.
So here's an example, right, of the same exact thing, and why I don't think it always has to be sound quality. It can be other things. Do you think I'm going to be able to tell the difference realistically, real world usage, between, I'm talking about this new MacBook I bought, between 32 and 64 gigs. Will I notice that difference in most of the stuff I do? Probably not. I like knowing it's there, right? Am I going to be able to tell difference even between like the fastest, the top spec CPU, GPU setup and the so I guess that's M1 Max versus M1 Pro? Probably not, but did I pay the extra? Yeah. Why?
Nope.
I don't know. I just want the peace of mind, I guess.
Yeah, it's you knowing that, look, okay, whatever I throw at this thing, it's gonna be awesome, right? It's the same with TV specs with HDR, peak nits, 1,000 nits, peak brightness is bright, is really bright, it really, really, really bright. Does your TV really need to hit that? Not really, not really. But the thing is, when you see that, it's really fucking bright, and you're gonna be like, damn, do I really want something like this? And like the Samsungs are hitting 1500, 1600, 1700, and I don't think people understand that. Even like, they say like, oh well, OLED isn't true 4K, blah blah blah, it shouldn't be part of the ultra UHD premium specification or certification or whatever the hell they call that, because it's gets up to 800 nits, but that's still bright. Even the 700 nit that I A8H that I reviewed, I was just like, damn, this is bright. So it's, everybody has these numbers in their head, but does it, like, when you actually see that, you're like, dude, just no way I need that on a daily basis. But
and the same can sometimes be said about like amplification. Do you need a 450 watt per channel amplifier? Probably not. Is it nice to have on tap? Yeah, it is.
Do you know how many speaker companies, when they say, oh yeah, hey, I'd like to review your speakers, well, they're like, what do you have to power the speakers with? And I was just like, oh, I have a Parasound A51. And they're like, oh, okay, sure. Yeah, that's fine. And then that's I mean, dude, that is at two channels driven at 4 ohms. It's like 450 watts RMS. Like, it's retarded.
Yeah, you'll blow up that speaker.
Who needs that? And like, when I was talking to you guys about the that ring modulator on those Polks, I was just like, well, I was cranking it for a while, and I started to get this little, sound.
Oh, did you let the smoke out?
And they're like, why is that? I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm running 450 watts into it. I'm playing for like 6 hours for a,
if you see some Polks for sale, you better be careful if they're coming from the Mammoth area.
Oh my god, it's hilarious though. I mean, it's one of those things, like when M&K were like, hey, we'll send you out this $11,000, 5.1 for you to review. What are you powering with it? I'm like, oh, I have a Parasound A52 Plus. And they're like, okay, that's pretty good. If I had said I have I'm running it off of the AV receiver, they'd be like, oh, well, can you get your hands on an amplifier for this review? Is probably what they'd say.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, well, they want they want to be able to feed it adequate power, and
they want to make sure their product is displayed properly. I guess
And this actually ties in with one of the questions back here. Okay, so Mawson says, I have a Yamaha RX-V 2085. Do you reckon that I need external power amp for, I guess, for my speakers? So part of that depends on what speakers do you have them powered with, or connected with. If your speakers are inefficient,
if they have low sensitivity, and then how far away are you sitting?
Yeah. So there's a lot of factors. How big is your room? So, and need is always in the home theater space, especially, it's like, okay, do you need an amplifier? No. Will you benefit from an amplifier? Probably so. But the less efficient speakers you have, the more you're going to benefit. The further you sit back from the speakers, the more you're going to benefit. Bigger the room, so to speak. So there's a lot of different factors. So it's hard to say, like, do you need one? But look at the sensitivity. If your speakers have a sensitivity rating of, let's say, below 90 dB, then you're going to probably hear more of a difference adding an amplifier than I will with 104 dB speakers. So there's a big difference there.
Yeah, or even 96 dB.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, to get a 3 dB boost, you have to double your power output.
Correct.
from your
Yeah.
amplifier. So like,
Correct.
getting 3 dBs up is tough.
Yeah.
Another thing like I would add to that is what's the behavior of your AVR? Like is it in a dedicated room? Because mine's in the living room. So the TV's been on since 11 a.m. When I sit down to watch a movie at 11 p.m. and the TV's been on all day, meaning both amplifiers have been on all day, the receiver's been on all day. I want to make sure I get the big bada boom, right? Right? Lilu Dallas. I want all that dynamics. The AVR is not going to be able to handle like giving out an awesome performance after being on for 12 hours, right? So that's another thing to take into account. If it's in a dedicated room, you might be able to not deal with a power amplifier, but
So here, I think James asked, would you rather have a power amps or dual sub? And so this actually partially answers the other question, in that, are you going to be using subwoofers? Because in car audio, you can totally tell the difference between amps, right? When you're running it for subs. Like it's obvious when an amplifier doesn't have as much power. When you have like a ridiculous amount of like subs, like and you're just pumping out bass, right? But in most home theaters, the bass is handled by subs and they have their own amplifiers. And so let's say if you're cutting off most of your speakers at 80 hertz, how loud do you have to play speakers? If you're cutting off at 80 hertz, right? That's your crossover point. How much power do you really think you need to play those at a volume that's like really loud? Like I'm uncomfortable, but it's still clean. The limit is not, there's no limit as far as like, it can get louder, but you're like, no, I'm done. I don't want any louder. At 80 hertz and above, I think most people might find that amount of power that you need is lower than what you expect. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. But from my experience, I've noticed that.
I'll say this. If you were going between adding a second sub and adding a power amp, you will notice more when you add that second sub. That will be your biggest leap in, noticing, right? So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, definitely it's going to smooth out the bass.
Well, all right, so let me quantify that or qualify it, or maybe so you may get lucky. You may just put a second sub in there and it goes, man, it's so much better. I've got more bottom end. I always recommend this, man. At least buy like a microphone and learn to use REW. There's some great tutorials out there. Chana's got some, Joe's got some, I've got some.
I don't have any.
You don't have any?
No.
But you've got some.
I just called Joe. I'm like, yo, dude, I'm trying to measure this thing. It's not working. He's like, okay, hold on.
So
do this,
just doing a frequency sweep just to see, okay, how is the bass performing in my room? Because here's the reality. If you just put them where you think they look the best, you probably aren't going to get the best performance out of them. So you're going to need to play with them, moving around the room, just trying some different things. Get a long XLR or RCA cable, so that you can kind of move them around the room and kind of figure it out. But I just always want to kind of throw that disclaimer out there that just because you buy a second sub doesn't mean you're magically going to have automatic
there's more tweaking that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's not rocket science, and there's some great guys out there can help you with that process if you're just clueless about how do you integrate two subwoofers. But
what do you think about if you had the choice to
100%.
get a second sub 100%. Or 100% sub?
100% sub. Absolutely.
Most noticeable difference out of the two things.
Yeah. But just like I said, just know that you can probably even get even more performance out of that sub if you're able to physically see what it's doing in your room, because your room's going to interact different than my room. So
I think that's solid advice to make sure that you're getting the most performance.
Sure. You paid for it.
Of anything. Yeah.
Yeah, you paid for it. And I know it stinks. You got to buy another $150 mic. But the reality, I mean, that $100 could that could double the quality of your subwoofer that you just bought.
Exactly.
I mean, literally can be that dramatic.
That's what we're about to do, Chana. We're going to make those rels do stuff they don't want it to do.
And so this is the same thing. Joe needs to have bass subs going down flat to 20.
To 10.
Do
right,
I
Michael?
notice that?
What are we talking about? You said
8.
Yeah, are
Hey,
you gonna
hey,
notice that?
hey.
No, unless you
you'll
know
notice it.
exactly the way your house vibrates to certain
Yeah.
frequencies. Unless you know that, then no, you're not gonna fucking notice. And a lot of those things will last how long? How long? Not even 2 seconds. Maybe
Oh,
4.
dude, the
Maybe 3 to 4.
grin on my face lasts way longer than 4 seconds.
Oh my, yeah, dude, my. I'm
I'm
not talking about the
saying, yeah.
grin. I'm talking about that hitting that frequency.
I know.
That's what I'm talking
right,
about.
Don't be a
here's the
hater,
thing.
Tana. Don't be a hater.
I'm not
Don't
being
be
a
a
hater.
hater.
I'm just
Once
saying.
when
I'm just saying, like,
when your stuff is hitting below 20, you'd be like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be, hey, you guys need this. You guys
Yeah,
need this.
it's an experience. I'll be honest.
My
with you.
wine glasses were breaking.
Yeah.
please no. Those things are expensive.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so to go back to the amplifier thing real quick though is I'm not saying that it absolutely does not make a difference because I'm sure there's
Correct.
going to be a level where it will make a difference.
Right.
100%. There's going to if I did some hardcore testing with some crazy speakers that could handle all kinds of power, low sensitivity, there's going to be a point where the more expensive amp is going to outperform the less
Sound
expensive one.
cleaner, more detailed.
100%. For sure.
maybe-
I think we
that
all
will
agree.
eventually happen.
Maybe even just like the sheer like longevity of it. Like you're doing a 2-hour session, it might be fine with the lower end amplifier. Next, the amplifier is like in my house, it's on for like 8 to 10 hours, and then you're asking for it to like deliver. You know, you might have issues with the cheaper one. I don't know.
Your other amplifier is like, man, I'm tired. I'm just gonna chill here on the
I'm
couch.
I'm gonna clip so that I don't have to do it. I'm going on vacation. Like
I ain't warming up to nothing.
And so the only reason I say that is because I want people to have realistic expectations. So if you had a set amount of money, where do you want to spend that money? Right? So the question, should I get a sub first? Get the sub first. Right? Get the second sub first. And then after you've done that and you've done this and you've done that, then you can get the fancy cables because you like the way they look. You know, but don't go fancy cables first and expect something, right?
Yep.
You can go all the way, do all that later, right? But do the most important things first. Learn about how acoustics works. Learn about DSP because a lot of times you're saying, Michael, the microphone makes a huge difference. Like you can buy the same exact sub, same exact speakers, put them in the same exact place, and with DSP you can make it sound very different and optimize for your main listening position.
Sure.
That's really where it's at.
You can fix some, and then later on down the road, if you add something like a mini DSP, you can fix some of the areas that aren't optimized. You know, maybe you got too much bass in a certain frequency, and to you're just listening, going, man, I feel the bass more. Well, the reality of it's peaky, like John, I remember your graph, dude. Oh my gosh, he's like 15 dB higher in the bass than he was his mids and highs. And so,
All right, so I get it. The other day I spent 12 hours. I pulled an all-nighter just messing with DSP, right? Trying to mess with my system and get it tuned in as perfect as I could possibly do it. And I could still spend another 12 hours and make it even better, I assume. But I got a very nice, smooth, flat response. And I kind of had one of those audiophile moments. You know how those audiophile, like, oh yeah, you know, listen to music and I know. But seriously, like there was like a point where it was a little bit of an emotional experience. Maybe it's because I spent 12 hours and I didn't get any sleep, right? Maybe it's that. But it was like one of those things where it sounded so good that, you know when you smell something and it reminds you of something like immediately? You know what I'm talking about? Like you smell something, you're like, oh, that takes you back like immediately to some time in the past. I think when your system is tuned very well, sometimes like certain notes and like certain combinations like really take you back to like, oh yeah, a certain time. And I don't know that a lesser system could do that. So that was my audiophile moment where I was like, I hear that
your system isn't revealing enough.
I thought you
it got me emotional. I got emotional about it.
I thought you were going to tell me how a direct smells or something. I'm like, where's he going with this?
it was so chocolatey.
That's right.
But even the bass, right? So when I flattened out the bass response, right, made it nice and smooth. That's when people talk about textured bass, it means that you can hear the difference in different types of bass. When it's just a lot of bass, it just sounds like I'm hearing some bass, but I didn't know that there was like different notes in there. And I think that's one of the things. Anyway, there's potpourri for that smell.
Yeah, Mark Wilson has his little priorities thing here.
I like
One,
that.
setup,
I really do.
placement, tuning. 2 dual subs, and then 3 external amplification.
I like it.
Yeah,
Good advice.
good one. And then someone was asking, oh, Buddy, it was Buddy, 2 10-inch subs or 115, and the overwhelming response came from Junior, which was 115 now and 115 later.
And honestly, I know for me personally, I started off with a 10-inch. Oh gosh, that would have been 20 years ago, maybe even longer, 25 years ago. And as soon as I upgraded to a 15-inch sub, I have never gone back to anything smaller than a 15-inch sub. Just the amount of output, the low end extension. Typically, once you experience that, you're like, oh snap! Like this is legit. This is nice. Same thing in car audio. You know, I mean, 10s are cool, but man, you throw a couple 15s in there, you're like, oh my gosh.
You heard how he said that? 10s are cool.
Yeah,
they're cool.
Those are cute.
I mean, they're cool.
They are. But yeah,
it also depends on your room. It also depends on your room, right?
I have, all right, and maybe it is Chana, but I have yet to have a 10-inch subwoofer for home theater impress me.
Okay,
in your theater room, right? But your theater room is how big? So you would have to have
big at all.
It's not big at all. It looks pretty fucking big, dude. 150-inch screen. Like, what are you talking about?
13 feet by 19 feet. Is that big to you? That's not a massive room, dude.
13.
Well, you got the suck out though. You got the suck out. So the suck out.
You
don't have the 10s can't overcome it. The 10s can't overcome it. You got the 418s. You got the suck out, and you're like, whatever. Throw power at it. That's the difference. So I don't think it's that the 10s are not impressive because I got the monolith. The monolith 10 is impressive.
I put 10s in a bedroom too. 12 by 12 bedroom.
You got the suck out. You got like your house comes with a natural suck out.
I love it.
No matter where you place it.
Wait a second. Are you saying the suck out happens in the bedroom? The suck out happens in the bedroom.
What did I
time, Aaron?
What did I just walk into?
He came in because we're having too much fun, and he's like, I wasn't gonna join, but these guys look like they're having a good time. Let me pop in here real quick, last minute.
Pop in last minute. No, man, I just got back from doing our family photos, and I wanted to jump in. I saw y'all were still on, so I thought I'd pop in for a minute. I was like,
good deal. Cherish those times, man.
I will, dude. We had a good time.
We didn't do enough photos, and our kids are gone now. So,
well, I would say that if it weren't for my wife, I would probably never do any of them. But my wife is good for holding me down.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. So y'all were talking about doing the suck outs in the bedrooms. I don't.
Oh, the suck out, yeah. No, we're just talking about. He said, 10-inch sub versus 15-inch sub. Okay, so let me tell you, I got the 10-inch monolith THX 10. Right, that's one of the subs I have. On the other side, I have the PB 1000 Pro. Those are the least expensive, like very good subs, I think. But you're not talking about expensive subs.
Right.
So I played, what is that? Edge of Tomorrow? Is that what it's called? They're always changing the name.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Tomorrow. I know what you're talking about. Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah. Boom. I played the beginning, not super loud, right? And so, I converted the garage to a theater, right? But the whole garage door is like, like that sounds terrible.
Oh, right? Yeah.
So that's not, like, I have no issue with the bass. Now my issue is something else.
The garage door.
My issue is the garage door is rattling too much.
Dynamite everything.
Exactly. So it's kind of one of those things you have to be careful when you're making recommendations. Like, I don't know your room. It could be like that. You put a 10 and it's just like, whoa, this is more than enough. Are you in an apartment?
Right.
I don't know how that room's going to interact with the bass. Right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend like, all right, so it's already rattling your stuff. You know what you need to do?
Throw a 15.
Get 418s. 418s.
Yeah.
Throw 418s in. That'll fix that.
Here's what I said. I have yet in the 2 homes that I've lived, actually 3 homes that I've lived in that I've had subwoofers in, I've yet to have a 10-inch that like overwhelmed me. Like, oh my gosh, that was stinking amazing. It was okay. It was cool.
Well, wait till you hear the 4.
I've never had a 10-inch rock my world. Put it that way.
Okay, Michael. Wait. Oh.
There you go. There you go, Shauna.
Okay. Okay.
Somebody quote that.
All right, Michael.
Tam, if you're paying attention, I need you just to take that one excerpt and make the video just
That's
that
it.
one sentence.
Just that's the video.
That's it.
Make it
dude.
loop for an hour.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh,
All right.
All right.
or
So-
something else, man.
We're
Wait till you
ridiculous.
hear the four force canceling woofers on the new MacBook Pro. Then you won't even know.
changer.
You won't even know. Hey, Aaron, did you see that on
What?
the Apple announcement?
No.
The new MacBook Pro has 4 force canceling woofers. They say that. Like that's the terminology they use.
That's weird.
4 force canceling woofers.
Yeah, I mean, does it really bother people to have their laptop vibrating on their desk or on their lap?
Unless, maybe they should keep it a selector switch on, vibration on and off. Like the hotel, those seedy hotel bedroom beds.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Well, you could also make the argument that maybe it's better to not have force canceling because that vibration gives you the sense of more bass output than is really there.
Yeah.
But they know what they're doing. It just seems very odd.
They said 80% more bass and what is it? Half an octave lower. So I don't know how low the other ones went.
If it was at, let's say 80.
Here we go.
An octave would be
Okay.
40, so then halfway is 60. So now they from 60 to 80 or something like that. Like I don't know what they would have done before. They probably didn't go to 80, but yeah, I don't know.
True
Interesting.
Voice
What do you think
said-
is really like 100
Here it is.
something?
Here it
at the
is.
top? Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. Okay, 97 hertz from one. I mean, any amount extra bass you can get out of a laptop speaker is welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, very interesting.
interesting.
What's up with you, man? What's new?
Family photos today, man. That and just grinding, dude. You guys know how it is. Work.
What are you measuring? bro?
Oh man, what am I not
Chana, you
measuring?
didn't get onto him for saying that?
He did. He
I mean,
didn't.
seriously?
I said just grinding, not on grinder. So
I mean,
there's a
come on,
difference.
man.
There's a difference. Yeah.
Right.
There's a difference. Dude, but you
Doesn't matter
literally
what
said-
I say, how innocent it is. Chana jumps on it, and
I
Aaron
need
says
you to,
something
I
obvious.
need you to
I'm
take a second, just take a step back and think about the sentence that you said, which was, and I quote, "I've never had a 10-inch rock my world." Now come on, man. I mean, that one wrote. That's the book that writes itself, right? Like,
Sometimes I wonder if Michael just does it on purpose.
I think
Like
so.
over there, sometimes I just see him like say it.
I don't know.
I
Like,
really don't. No,
What was it I was talking to?
It's probably just being naive, man.
No, so Joe got me the other day. We were talking on the phone, and I was talking about ordering some green glue because I'm building a baffle to test just raw drive units on. Right. And the problem is that the baffle resonates around like 80 hertz. So I was like, I've got some options. I can make it like super thick, do some more support, and then I was thinking I can try to do some green glue to decouple like 2 different layers of MDF. And I was telling Joe, like I bought the green glue. It came in on Sunday, so yesterday. But I couldn't use it because I don't have a caulk gun that's large enough. And Joe was like, "Oh, so your caulk isn't big enough?" And I was like, "Yeah, pretty much." Yeah. So I was like, "Come on, man."
CAULK.
So it's not just you, Michael. It could be anybody at any moment. Anybody can get it.
Yeah. What
Oh,
is
man.
it? Anybody can get what?
Yeah,
Cock?
the caulk gun.
Oh goodness.
So yeah, the subwoofers that I'm testing, I mentioned that I was done, and I'm done, but then I saw some results that kind of look questionable, so I'm going to retest all of them again and then make sure everything matches again. So that should take me another week. I was really excited. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do the video this week. I'll be done. And I was like, I don't know. I don't feel comfortable putting that number out there until I double check it. So I'm going to retest everything again just to make sure. And as long as I get roughly the same numbers, then I'll be fine. Yeah. And I'm sure it's probably okay, but it just, when you see all like 6 different sets of data together, like, and you have a couple that just kind of look out of place, it's like, so I'm gonna make sure.
Yeah.
Just make sure to don't do those measurements where it shows the differences as you go up in volume. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, those are terrible, man. Yeah, nobody wants to see those. Hey, that wasn't you, Michael. Yeah, that's the crack against me. He's making fun of me.
I know it is. I think it's
okay.
weird.
Oh, yeah.
I get it.
Hey,
Yeah.
Aaron,
That
I
was a
just
good
came
one,
up.
okay.
I just came up. Well, I
You
just
came
thought of
out?
this. I just came up with a shirt idea for you. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
You know how they say, "Do you even lift, bro?" Yours should be say, "Do you even clipple, bro?"
Do you? Well, I can do that. I'll do that. I'll even do like
or do you even measure, bro?
There you go.
Yeah.
But then that might be weird. I might get
You
messed
measure up?
with.
you-
Yeah.
do you-
Yeah.
What
Do your
bro are
speakers
you
measure up?
measuring?
Yeah.
All kinds of good stuff. What
Make
happened to
measurements
Joe?
great again.
What happened to Joe?
I'm running on a battery. I'm running on.
Oh, wireless.
I'm not in my room.
The
Battery exhausted.
joys
Anyway,
of
We're
wireless.
at an hour and
All right,
25.
yeah.
We're an hour and a half. You want me to
That's
switch
good.
to this awesome camera, the 720 camera on this
Yeah, let's do
MacBook?
that.
Do it.
Let's
man.
see how great this
do
looks.
You won't.
All right, let's see how great this looks here. Hold on a
Here
second.
we go. We'll put him on full screen.
Dun, dun,
Boom.
There it is.
Dang.
Giddy up.
Dang.
Don't forget.
Look
don't
at that.
forget. Don't forget patrons to go into your Patreon account and get the link for the after show, which is happening in just a few minutes. On behalf of myself, Michael, Aaron, and Joe, we'll see you guys next. Actually, no, we won't see you next week.
No.
The Daily Hi-Fi podcast. It'll be time for the AV Summit. Oh!
Flex.
That's
Hey,
right.
I think we're hearing that for the pre-party, right? Influencer mixer. I think there's gonna be a TV giveaway. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing some TV giveaways from Valley Electronics. I don't know which TV, but this is what I've heard. You don't hold me to it, but this is what I'm hearing.
The Catalina
Yeah,
wine
you
mixer.
can. Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll see what happens. Stay tuned. Follow us on the AV Summit on Instagram because we post all the giveaways there. So
Yeah.
All the info's there.
Follow
Yeah.
for the giveaways and then just unsubscribe after that.
yeah, you can do that.
Bird.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Pretty much. Well, it's been great having you guys. So we'll see you in 2 weeks, but definitely make sure you guys show up to the AV Summit. It's going to be awesome. It's all next week, Monday through Friday, the 25th of October to the 29th, with the special influencer mixer on the 24th Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right,
Yeah,
you guys.
Please be at your event and just pop in real quick so we could party while party with us while you're
Party.
partying.
Who, me?
Yeah. Let's see
Oh,
if you have
dude.
reception. Be like, hey, what's
dude,
up?
there's-
All right, bye.
If there's Wi-Fi I can get onto, but I know the Motor Speedway in Vegas doesn't have any reception.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
All that.
Bummer.
But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see.
See you.
All right, you guys. Have a good night.